How's it going, YouTube? Coming in today with another video, and today, guys, what the bring to you is going to be my regional report. I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I hope that it helps you prepare for your future events, as I have many moving forward. I love the format, I love my deck right now, and I think this format has been a wonderful time, and I cannot wait to play in multiple events. So this is going to be a video for reflection, and I do hope this helps you moving forward into your events. Learn from my mistakes and understand how you can play better in certain scenarios, and try to think about scenarios that you may have done poorly in your events and use those to apply to your future rounds, because those are learning moments, and those are not just learning moments, those are key memories that you need to have. Because I will tell you right now, in 2019 I lost a game because I swung a Link monster into an Orcus Nightmare, and I learned real quick why that is a bad idea, right? And that's something that I'll never do again. So that's something that is really hard to accomplish by learning how to learn from your mistakes. But man, it is so helpful. So let's check out what happened at my regional. Definitely go ahead and check my sponsors over on Gem, Cloud, Arla, Imperium, Dragonshield, RW, MainPhaze, and Grimoire down below in the description. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so we can hit our goal at 30,000. I appreciate y'all, so let's hop right on into the content. The first round I have today for you is going to be Ryzel Kashtira. The second is K9 Christian RB. Then Yummy. Round 4, I don't really remember. It was over quickly. I won that match very fast. I Paradise Mashered, and then I believe the next game my opponent bricked, and that was that. So that was a pretty quick round. Blind second Gem Knight. Then I had the K9 Memento deck. This deck was pretty cool. Then I had a no-show, and then I played against Blue Eyes. There were definitely some major mistakes that happened, though. Jiaolong Lantern, the Izuna, and Double Ash Blossom was my hand into Ryzel Kashtira, and this was something that was definitely detrimental because of the fact that I didn't see the line immediately, and that cost me the match. This is something that I realized that I did wrong immediately after I did it, and it really sucked. Because I went normal Lantern, grab Case, grab Jokel summon Izuna. I didn't summon the Jiaolong, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go in for like the K9 plays, and then maybe I'll just like use the Jiaolong later. And I didn't realize till after that I had double Ash in hand, and I was just so mind blown that I actually made that big of a mistake. And then I also didn't catch this one that I could have saved the game with, but my friends saw this one afterward and told me, which is really helpful if your friends are watching your games and they tell you afterwards some things that happened. Like, yeah, you might not want to hear it in the moment, but it is helpful. Because I had Lupus already engraved, and I used Izuna. My opponent had Dual Drive and Fenrir, and I didn't go Izuna chain Lupus. I went summon Izuna and then activate Lupus for whatever reason. And my opponent just, like, banished the Izuna, right? So that sucks. Because if you chain them both and summon them at the same time, they go to Fenrir banish, you just chain Lupus, right? So definitely would have been a lot better there. But I made two major mistakes, and this was a huge wake-up call for me round 1. I couldn't even believe it. Definitely make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Make sure that you do a double take at your field, your hand, your grave before you commit to a larger play, especially in a very difficult hand, because that was a major mistake for me. That's something that did cost me the match. I tied into Yummy, and this was probably one of the most ridiculous situations ever. I lost game 1 because it was just a really long grind, and my opponent had Obedient Schooled, and we were going back and forth, but I just, like, couldn't outgrind them at the moment. But in game 2, I put up a pretty sizable board, but I still had 6 in hand when I passed. And then I drew to 7 off Borger in the draw phase, so I was like, alright, I'm probably okay here. And my opponent goes, battle phase, and I was like, main phase, use rock, add back. And so I had 8 in hand now, and my opponent goes evenly, so I keep my Nash Knight because the Ripper wasn't really doing anything, and the rest of my board didn't necessarily matter. So I didn't have the trap card at the time either, so I just kept the Nash Knight. My opponent goes main phase 2, activate talent, look at hand, and I go chain Holy Sue, summon Holy Sue, they go rip Ash, and I was like, that's fine. And they go resolution, lava golem. I was like, what? Like, that sucks. And they go, resolution, thrust. Resolution, obedient school. I was like, crazy, right? Like, insane. I still ended up winning that game. I was higher in life, and then time was called, and we tied. I did end up losing to the K9 Memento deck. We had some pretty crazy games, and in game 3, my opponent had a huge board. I broke the whole board with 2 cards, but unfortunately, the other cards in my hand were K9 cards, and my opponent didn't use a single card in their hand or graveyard. And they even had Mace in hand, but they chose to just use Memento Fusion and get rid of the Mace out of their hand instead of using it. So that really did cost me, because I had enough gas to go ahead and just kill my opponent, but I had no access to my K9 cards because they simply just didn't use them. But I had like 40 people watching. It was the longest match in the round because of the fact that I had a deck check. So then I had to wait for my deck to come back, and then we were like 20 minutes into time because of our extension. So we were the last game going, and everyone was watching. And I broke the whole board, but I didn't have enough gas to put into an actual board because I didn't have access to my K9 cards, because my opponent just wouldn't use cards from their hand or grave, and that was awful. Now, there are some things to note here. I only drew Fua twice. I drew Perulia once. I drew Shifter 0 times. I drew Azuna twice. I drew Holisu 0 times going second. 0. None. I didn't see this card at all. And, I mean, that's variance for you. That's actually variance. And a 40 card list, 2-1-0-2-0. Insane. Round 1, I got double Fuad, and I still Paradise Mastered them and won that game. And it was just, like, insane. Everyone I played against saw, like, double Fua, Perulia, Azuna. Like, I just could not draw these to save my life. In 22 games, I just couldn't see them. This was the list that I played at the event. I thought it was really smart. There's a lot of things about this that I really do like. I am playing the Dogeron and the Kurakara. Shout out to my teammate Ricky for this. I'm playing the Hida because if you do play against, like, Lunalight, you can crash the Hida into, like, their Liger Dancer, and then you can search Kurakara or Dogeron, which is really cool. That was the theory behind that. We were playing the different Dimension Grounds on the side. That card's an auto-win against Dracotail, Yummy, if you play against Orcust, any Fiendsmith variant. It just auto-wins against multiple matchups. I did use this against Gem Knight, and it did auto-win the game, which was pretty crazy. So that's a card that I definitely recommend right now. I didn't want to play Thrust because I specifically wanted that for Yummy and Dracotail, and Yummy isn't exactly interacting with you. They're just playing like board breaks for the most part. So I just played the playset of D-Ground because I just really wanted to have it. The card was stellar. Shared Ride, in theory, was very good because if you're drawing with your opponent searching, then you're always going to get into cards like Holisu, your Fuas, your one of Nibiru, so it can be found by the draw cards, your Azunas. I really do like Shared Ride in this deck. I think that it's very smart. The other thing is that you can activate Shared Ride in your own turn 0 if your opponent starts trying to play in your turn. And that way you can at least go ahead and start drawing with your opponent searching on your own turn. That's the same theory behind Perulia. If you're in the mirror match, you just drop Perulia in the draw phase. I didn't see Mitsu cards. I didn't see Malice cards. I didn't verse a mirror match. What happened? Like, it's just like kind of crazy, right? Like sometimes your events are just the Wild West and you just don't play against anything you expect. Typhon was a huge card for me this weekend. The card was great. The card next to Hito is Codebreaker. It's for Baguska, but I didn't see Baguska ever, so it didn't really come up for me. But overall, the list was really good. There's just some like really obvious mistakes for me this weekend and something that I really need to clean up moving forward. If you enjoyed today's format of video, definitely let me know down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear it. Definitely go ahead and check out my Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thank you.